Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. Today's Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. We're joined by a very special guest, Brooke Villaba from BBR Realty in Trenton, Michigan. Good morning, Brooke.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well, and we're going to talk about all things mortgage and real estate today. And also our panel joining us this morning, Ms. Becky Alley. Good morning, Becky.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm glad the snow is not coming down anymore. I'm pretty pumped about that.
Can you believe that? Yesterday, I woke up, snow all over my car on April 18th, but here we are. It's a brand new day. As we all know, things change every single day. And we're also with Lisa Lawson. Welcome, Lisa.
Morning, everybody. Happy spring.
Happy, so-called spring. And with us last, but certainly not least this morning, Mr. John Cole. Good morning, John.
Good morning, everyone.
So we have everybody out there. This is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. We are an equal housing lender on NMLS number 2289. Let's just jump right into it, Brooke. So, Brooke, you're down in Trenton, Michigan. We all know that Trenton is a hot area. Very hot.
It is.
And this, as of this morning, Zillow reported that there were only 28 homes for sale in Trenton, an extremely low number. So what's going on in your world, Brooke? What are you doing to help your clients out? Give us some experiences that are currently going on in your world, Brooke. So tell us about them.
Well, first off, I'll tell you, I love what I do. I love helping people, and I love people getting into the house of their dreams. And when it comes to the selling side, I love it too. So Trenton has 28 homes for sale right now. Okay, they closed 15 houses in the last 30 days. Wyandottes got 15 homes for sale right now. Monroe, 23. Troy, 50. So yes, the market is scarce. We all know that. And what we're all hoping for and what we should be seeing is for the market to start picking back up, because 'tis the season. We're here. So we're waiting. We're patiently waiting. How we're handling what's going on with the scarce market, just having the right team working with you, for you. It's not just about your agent. Who's your lender? I mean, all that plays a role in your offer getting accepted.
Yeah, Brooke, you are so in tune with the market. You're in tune not only with the downriver market, but in every market, because inventory right now is the big thing. It's not mortgage rates, certainly. It's nothing but inventory. And Becky Alley, we talk about it all the time. Challenges and solutions. Challenges and solutions. Yeah. But guess what? We're still doing a lot of business, Becky. You're still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about, pivots so the deal doesn't perish. And, working with transactions, there's a lot of buyers out now. It's, we talked about this before. The first-time home buyers are really going to be the ones that are feeling the brunt of it. The experienced buyers, the step-up buyers, your investors, they have the capital already. So really what our focus is always is really kind of taking that empathetic approach to the first-time home buyers, because we need to find a way to get them the funds that they need to compete with these over askings, with these appraisal guarantees. And that's really what's key. It's, that moment in time in January where we could say, okay, you need 6,000 in concessions. If I tell Brooke that, she'd be like, good luck, because I'm against 5 other offers and concessions are off the table. So I have a couple that I am working really, really hard to get the credit in line so they would qualify for down payment assistance, because for these first timers, that is going to be the difference between these offers getting accepted and not. And that's why we're constantly talking about pivots so the deal doesn't perish, because that is key. Because the biggest discernment for me is these buyers, because they're also getting if they're renting a house, the sellers or the owners of this investment property, they're selling these properties because they want to get top dollar now. So now they're struggling trying to find a house in the next 30 days. They're getting hit with these, investors on the apartments. Their rent letters, they're going up. Their rent is being increased. So now their affordability is more likely to lean into a house, but the payment's never the issue. It's always, where is the funds coming from? So we don't take that lightly here at Capital Mortgage Funding. And I love working with Brooke in that regard, because she is empathetic. She understands. And when she says she loves what she does, that's a fact, because she's out here really grinding and hustling, but then also working side by side with the lenders to making sure that the buyers are in the right programs.
Yeah, Lisa, to continue with the home inventory shortage, there seems to be the percentage of new construction, you're out in Macomb County, the majority of business is Macomb County business. Macomb County is booming with new construction. As a matter of fact, nationally, 1/3 of all inventory is new construction, and that's way up. Tell us what's going on in Macomb County, what's going on in new construction in your area.
Yeah, so I mean, Macomb County is definitely booming. We've got a lot of space out there. And I think the builders are definitely, and developers have decided people can't wait. They're not finding the home that they need to that's already established. People aren't quite moving. They're not putting their home up, and listing it for sale because maybe they refied and have a crazy low rate, or maybe it's just not in the cards for them. So we're fortunate that we've got so much new construction going on everywhere, but especially in Macomb County, and it really fills that niche. So there's a lot of spec homes available. So it doesn't mean that you have to wait 10 months to get into a house or 9 months to get in a house. A lot of these builders are building on spec. So you can just go in and finalize your finishes, decide what granite countertop you want and what, paint you want, and then you can get in 60 days. And it's just a really great option for those who can't find exactly what they're looking for in a home that's already built.
Yeah, John, thanks for that, Lisa. John, we talked about in the past that there might have been a lull, and everybody we talked about on the show, the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, on the podcast, that maybe for 2-3 weeks in January, there's a little lull. I agree with that. Every year, people getting back to the swing of things. They got to wait for the first of the year. They got to get settled in. Then all of a sudden, we had, and John, you had a lot of pre-approvals out there. You had a lot of your favorite topic, millennial buyers out there looking for homes. But it's certainly picked up for you, hasn't it, John?
Yeah, I mean, it's this is like Brooke said, 'tis the season, right? So I mean, we're seeing a lot of people out there looking. There's just not a lot of houses for sale. Everyone's battling over the same homes in the same markets, and you got to be creative with how your offers are going in. We're seeing a lot of really nice new creative ways of getting things done. We're sharing them with all our real estate partners, and to try to help make offers get accepted. And I think, like Becky said, you got to lean on that people want to sell to other families and other individuals who are going to use it as their primary residence. They don't want to sell to the investors or second home markets. They want to sell to people who are going to use the home, love the home, and grow in the home. So we just got to write the letters, do the emails, make the phone calls to just let everyone know what a great buyer we have and what the pros and cons of using us versus anybody else would be.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John. Brooke, I'm going to go back to you in a minute, but I want to go to Harvey Freed. We're joined by Harvey Freed. Harvey, been in the mortgage business over 30 years, co-host with Becky Ellie, the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1. Harvey, we talked about a closing that you had yesterday, really happy closing. Give us a little bit about that closing. You had a co-signer transaction, but tell us about your experience in the closing yesterday. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, closings obviously, Harry. That's what we live for. We love showing up and making sure we answer all the sellers and buyers' questions, as there's a lot to know when you're purchasing a new house. But really, the part with the closing, Harry, that all went really smooth and everything was exciting for the new buyer. And she sold her house, so we had a lot of conversations. But what stood out in the closing was talking about the inventory trouble. And you guys, and I'm sorry for joining you late, I couldn't get off the phone with a father who just said the same thing out in Rochester, trying to get the young couple. They're getting married in July. Family formation has been taking off. We saw all the statistics came out over the last couple of years that there's going to be an influx of buyers. We all got so excited. We said, this is great. Oh my God, we're going to be so busy. We sort of forgot about the inventory issue though. And we are living it stronger than ever before. This is a story of 25 offers this weekend. Becky had 4 different offers with 4 different buyers on the same house. So we're all really in this different marketplace. 2023 is really so far starting off no inventory. It's a huge problem.
Yeah, we're joined here by Realtor Brooke Villava from BPR Realty in Trenton. She grabs great stats. But Brooke, I got to tell you, we've been hearing it every day. The frustrations continue with buyers. However, they're not giving up. We're hearing stories that continuing to look and make offers, tough to get accepted, overbidding, continuing, not slowing down, cash offers, sometimes for less, right, Harvey? Sometimes for less are getting the deal done. And I'm saying, wow, 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 for less money. Brooke, what are you seeing out there? And we know the frustrations continue, but, people are still buying homes.
Well, here's the thing. So yeah, cash, sometimes for less. These sellers, they're willing to go with a lender because, I mean, most lenders now, well, not most, but the great ones, I mean, we're closing deals and within 10, 15 days. So, why wait? Or, why take the cash over more money?
So that's what we said yesterday. I'm shaking my head. I mean, people, since when in a capitalist society are people taking less money, especially in a seller's market? Becky, I love that point Brooke brings up. It's not the old days where people are walking in with bags of cash, closing 2 days after it's listed. I mean, there's no such thing. What is cash? I mean, forget about it. I don't understand that world, Becky. So I'm frustrated. Our buyers are frustrated. I'm getting calls every single day from people, Becky, Ellie, that we have pre-approvals out for, and they're making, in their minds, these outrageous offers, and they're still, we're getting a lot of success stories, but we hate to lose any transaction, right? We hate for our buyers. We're very, very competitive here.
Well, it's like, okay, so what you're describing is you be like, someone be like, hey, I got this cash offer for $150,000, or you can close with financing for $200,000 in 10 days. And then someone being like, I don't know, I got to drive in the morning. Like, I better not take the more money. It's like the most ridiculous response you could possibly imagine when you hear that stuff, because we can turn a transaction very quickly, but the key is our efficiency is contingent upon everyone else's efficiency and getting us what we need. So as long as everyone's in line, we got our documents, we are working as one cohesive unit, we can churn and burn a transaction extremely fast. So why not because to that point too, to finish my thought though, Brooke knows sometimes cash deals still take 2 weeks to close anyway. So why not get more money and close in that same time frame? Because green is green, no matter which way you cut it. Money is money, and it's all the same color, whether there's financing for someone or you get this in your mind, you feel like it came to you via duffel bag. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Cash is no longer king.
No, cash is no longer king.
Yeah, I hear you. In a lot of instances it is, but certainly in real estate, if somebody's taking $10,000-$20,000 less, I just don't, intellectually, I don't understand. At least he's wearing green today. Our favorite color, of course, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
My favorite color always has been.
Yeah. Right. So what we're seeing though is, how about this, in the for whatever it's worth category, Lisa Lawson, a recent survey shows that a third of potential home buyers are holding off for fear of a recession. Well, certainly not in our area. We're not seeing this. And as we said before, people surveyed, only 2% said they were holding off because of higher interest rates. It's not because of higher interest rates as a norm, because we all know, Lisa, people buy houses really in any interest rate environment because they always have to have a place to live, right?
Yeah, I mean, people say that all the time. I'm holding off till the rates drop. I'm going to do that. There's no crystal ball. You could be waiting forever. And to attest to that, there's people in 20 after the pandemic, right? Everyone thought everything was going to crash, but rates were going up. So they're going to wait till next year because they heard it was going to crash in 21, and they waited and it didn't crash. And then they were going to do it in 22 and it didn't crash. And here we are in 23. So the rates are higher than they were the previous 3 years. All you've done by waiting is get a higher interest rate, which means a slightly higher payment, right? And lose out on the possibility of making all that equity that you could have had 3 years ago if you did it back then. So, waiting is not helping anybody. You're not helping yourself by waiting. And in the interim, you're most likely paying rent to someone, and you're not investing in yourself. Buying a home and getting a mortgage is investing in your own financial success, in your own financial future. Paying someone else's rent is throwing your money away. So regardless of when you start, whether it was, a year ago, this year, or maybe you need some pre-work done and we're going to start next year, you got to get started. Value yourself, value your family, value everything, and get started now so you can develop, equity in a property that, maybe 10 years you can tap into if necessary.
I agree. We're going to go over that stat on our next topic. But John Cole, why are people waiting? Do you still have some people waiting?
No, I got more and more people, like I said, doing pre-approvals out there looking. I have not come across anybody that said they're waiting for rates to drop. I mean, that's just we've debunked that theory of why that doesn't make any sense. And the more and more people that are, I'm seeing more and more people that could possibly be waiting because of inventory. We're going to wait to see if some more houses are coming on the market before we get back out there. They're just, what they're seeing is junk and they don't like it, and that's not their dream home. And I can understand that all day long. All we can do is continue to advise and put numbers in front of them so they can make educated decisions.
Yeah, John Kolb with Capital Mortgage Funding. Also going to Harvey Freed, co-host of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday morning. Harvey, are you experiencing any buyers waiting? I mean, you come to me and say, hey, you know, we talked about the cash issue. We talked about the inventory issue. What are your clients telling you? Are they out there in mass buying still?
Mass buying and looking for angles, Harry, looking for helpful tips. Reminded me of a helpful tip that I'll share with our audience is, remember, as you're offering escalation clauses, over asking, cash offers, you can also maybe pay the seller's closing costs. The seller has typically transfer tax in the state of Michigan, title insurance and some title fees, maybe even a real estate compliance fee on the sale of their home. Maybe throw that in there also and see if they'd be willing to even cover that. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's additional money. And it might sound appealing to some sellers in today's marketplace.
Yeah, Brooke, I'm going to go to you on this. We're joined by Brooke Villalba from BBR Realty in Trent, Michigan. Brooke, we hear this all the time, and we've debunked this as well. Rent versus buy. This should help put an end to that myth that I want to rent versus buy. Over the last 10 years, the last decade, the average equity wealth gain from somebody owning a home was $122,000 over a 10-year period of time. Listen, it's a personal savings account, a rainy day fund, an emergency account of sorts. The only person that's happy that you rent is the person that owns the property, whether it's a landlord or they own the house or whatever. That's the only one you're making rich, Brooke. So over a 10-year period of time, if anybody ever asks you, well, I think I'm going to rent, no, you're not going to get wealthy paying somebody else's rent. You're going to go ahead and make them wealthy, Brooke.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're renting and you're spending $15,000, $20,000 on rent each year, that's $20,000 you lost. When you own, you have that equity, you have money there, you have security, you have a safety net for whatever it is that you may need, you know, a car, kids, college, you know, it's security.
Yeah, it really is a savings account. We never go ahead and Becky says this all the time. We don't want you using your house as a personal piggy bank. However is, it's really for savings. It could be an emergency fund. It could be a college fund. It could be a paying off high interest debt over that. And Becky, first time home buyer programs now more than ever, right? I mean, come on, first time home buyer programs more now than ever.
Yes, and in some areas, you don't even need to be a first-time home buyer. If you're looking in a targeted area, for example, in Oakland County, it's Royal Oak. If you own a home currently, you can actually still capitalize on that $10,000. So it all starts with that conversation. You know, we have every program imaginable that is out there to help buyers be in the best position possible when looking for a home, whether it's a repeat or a first timer. You know, you have a lot of lenders out there right now that are kind of hitting that soup du jour button and just kind of giving everyone that one shade or one flavor of vanilla. And no home is the same, as Brooke knows. No buyer is the same. No buyer situation is the same. No home buying experience is the same. So why are you going to give someone the same program and product? It takes time to go through each one with great detail, but we all take a lot of pride in that. Every single one of us, because we're here to create a unique, positive experience for every single homeowner, because it's up to us. They're never going to forget that experience. They're never going to forget the first time they bought a house. They're never going to forget the fifth time they buy that house, but they will remember how you made them feel as well. And it's important to have a great experience.
Yeah, Lisa, first time home buyer programs.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows I love the first time home buyer programs, and I started doing down payment assistance maybe about 15 years ago. And I think it's such an important piece, because a lot of time renters, because of the monthly payment, they don't have the ability to save the big chunk that they may need to get in. You know, so they might be like, hey, I pay $1,500 a month in rent. I know I can afford a $1,500 mortgage payment. I just don't have the ability to save the 10, 15, whatever $1,000 necessary. And down payment assistance fits in that little niche perfectly. It allows you to get into a home. Maybe you need only to save a few $1,000s if you qualify. And these people then can start building their own equity and contributing to their own financial wealth in the future. And I think that's such an important aspect. And there are so many programs now. There's national programs, there's programs in the state of Michigan. People always know MISHDA. There's National Faith Home Buyers specific to a county like Oakland County. And there's city programs like the Urban Pioneer Program in Port Huron. We pride ourselves in learning about all the programs that are available and making sure we find the right fit, whether it's an FHA program, a conventional with down payment assistance, to get you into that home so you can start, building financial wealth, freeing yourself from that, losing your landlord, and being successful and enjoying your first home.
Yeah, you're talking
Well-
1%, 1% or less of your own investment. You can get into a house and actually, in some situations, get money back at closing. How
Yes.
cool is that? Instead of showing up with your briefcase of money, you actually get a check yourself. I mean, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I just still don't understand the taking less money because somebody offers cash. I don't
know. They
get
got to
that
drive
at all.
anymore. It might not be sunny enough.
Somebody's going to have to clue me in on that. John Cole, what would a podcast be if we didn't talk about the Federal Reserve and what we think what they're going to do for rates? Personally, John, I think they're going to go ahead and raise it another 25 basis points because they're on the we've got to do something binge. We know they don't have to do anything. They feel they do. My prediction in the next meeting, they're going to go ahead and raise the 25 basis points. What do you say?
I say you can't fix stupid. And yes, I agree with you. They're going to probably raise it a quarter percent again. And you know what? You just can't fix stupid. We've talked about it over and over again, and they are just not listening to the experts out there. This regime is on its own path and wants to put everybody unemployed and or paying more and more at the pump and everywhere else, grocery stores and all. So thank you, Fed.
Yeah, no reason for it. We know there's no reason for it. People are getting hurt by the rise in prices. There's no reason gas should be at $3.60, $3.70 a gallon. No reason why eggs should be at these crazy high. I don't want to hear about that. To me, I'm kind of done with them, but we have to bring it up because it is our industry and it does affect all of our consumers and everybody that we know. Harvey Freed, next topic, and then we're going to go throw it to Brooke for last words of the day, go around the horn and sign off. But Harvey Freed, your favorite time of year. It's boating season. How many vacation homes are you doing? What are you seeing on the water? Give us a little preview of when finally the weather warms up enough for you to go in the water.
Well, that's exciting stuff, Harry, for a lot of families that want to experience that. When I was growing up here in Oakland County with all the inland lakes, it was one of the things that I wanted to do. I was like, I don't need to drive 3 hours up north, or John Colby only drives 2. Some people drive 5 or 6 hours. So there's paradise north of us. But right here in the Tri-County area and even in Jackson County, there's a lot of opportunities with inland lakes. If you want to get on one, we've seen these prices go up between 20 and 50%, literally just over the pandemic years, the last 3 or 4 years. So just like every other opportunity out there, get that strong approval letter in today's marketplace. Give us a call. We've got some additional information on things you should be looking for when you're looking at lake properties or golf courses, things of that nature, and we can help you with that.
Yeah, appreciate that update on the vacation property, Harvey. Listen, last words, we're joined by Realtor Brooke Villalba from BBR Realty in Trenton. Brooke, it's a pleasure having you on the podcast. Prepared, knowledgeable, enthusiastic, a lot of fun. Give us your last words for today.
Well, thank you. It was an honor to be here with everybody. My last words, I guess, hire an agent that is going to work hard for you, go that extra mile, get you above and beyond. The right team means a lot with your offer getting accepted.
And we appreciate you, Brooke, a lot. Becky Alley, last words of the day.
Yeah, I agree with Brooke. And we're excited. She's going to be joining us this Saturday on the Hardcore Mortgage Show. So we're really excited to get her live in studio. And to that point, yes, who you work with matters. And sometimes higher is not best, right? Sometimes the highest offer will not win. Sometimes who's on the other end of that pre-approval with both the buyer, the lender, and the agent sometimes is reaching across that aisle and shaking hands and let everyone know that you have a strong buyer. We just got one accepted yesterday for a veteran They're a first-time home buyer. We were up against a few others, and we stood out just because of our relationships, our communication, our attentiveness to detail, and we were able to come up on top, which is a beautiful thing for our vets, because there's a lot of people saying that, I don't know, FHA and VA is getting tough. Okay, well, if those are tough and those offers are not being accepted because we talk about money's the same color, it's because maybe an inexperienced selling agent might be on the other end of that table, not understanding that veterans and VA buyers are just as competitive sometimes as conventional if it works and checks all the boxes for your sellers as well. So just make sure you're considering all the data, all your information, so that way all these buyers have equal opportunity.
Solid and sound advice from Becky Ellie. Lisa Lawson, last words from you.
Yeah, I mean, money is money, like Becky said. It doesn't matter the loan type. You're gonna, as the seller, you're gonna get paid, and that's really what it's about. So it shouldn't matter if it's FHA, VA, MSHDA, or anything else. At the bottom line is you want your money, and that's what you're gonna get. So it doesn't matter the loan type. And really, I hate to say it, I don't think sellers really should concern themselves, the exception of if there's repairs to be done on their house, and they know that going in. So I think it's super important to work with an experienced loan officer like we are here at Capital Mortgage Funding, but even more so with an experienced agent like Brooke. They're going to explain all these differences and nuances. They're going to be upfront and honest about how everything works. And you need to have someone who communicates. It's so important, because nothing's more frustrating when you're trying to, purchase a home and, people make an offer and then it's crickets for 5 days and nobody's getting updates and you're not getting follow-up calls. And, sometimes we're waiting on somebody else, but at least we're keeping you in the loop, saying we still haven't heard back every day and keeping you updated so you're informed. And I think that is so important. And I think that goes a long way to ease people's apprehensions about the process. So definitely, stick with experienced professionals like us, like Brooke, and you're going to be great.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Mr. John Cole.
Yeah, just like Brooke said, hire an agent. Don't hire these flat rate BS listing agents. Man, Harry and I had a doozy last week, and I'm not going to go into it because you know what, but that guy doesn't know what he's doing. The agents know what they're doing. They're out there for a reason. They're going to get you more money. Hire a real agent, not a flat rate jackass.
There you go. I like that. Well, thank you for taking the words out of Harvey Freed's mouth. Harvey, last words of the day.
All of our mouths.
No, I gave you my last words, but I'm excited for Brooke. I didn't know you were coming on this Saturday. We're going to have a lot of information to share, so I'm excited about that. This competitive market is just really, you're going to have to get that team together. We've talked about this. Your real estate team, your lender, your inspector, and because we've talked about having the inspectors go with you to these showings. If there's going to be 20 offers on the house, you might have to waive your inspection. That inspector should have already gone with you to the showing. So if you can get some nuances, some new angles on get your offer accepted, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to share some great information for all the buyers out there.
Yeah, this has been the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast for Wednesday, April 19th. I want to thank our producer and director, Roberto Beauchene. He's in the booth as always. I want to thank our panel, Becky Ellie, Lisa Lawson, John Colvin, Harvey Freed, and our special guest, Realtor Brooke Villava from BBR Realty and Trend, who will be on the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday, and this Saturday especially, from 9 to 10 on 97.1. I am Harry Glantz, and for Wednesday, April 19th, thank you, everybody. We appreciate all of you, and we'll see you soon.